This is Diane Jamieson-Noel coming to you from Vancouver, British Columbia. Welcome to my channel. If you like what I have to share today, then subscribe to my channel and like and share. If you have any comments, let me know. So today I have a learning tip for you. And to do that, I am actually going to share my screen. So let's do this and we will. So what we're going to be talking about today is another thing related to reading. So when I was in elementary, high school, and university, I actually went all the way through and actually got my PhD in educational psychology. And the reason why I went and did a master's and PhD in educational psychology was so I could figure out how to help people learn better, for one, and I had a specific focus on reading, although that moved around over time. And I finished my degrees using the regular reading approach. I essentially went in and I took a book, I picked it up, and I read it one page at a time from the start to the end of the article, the book, whatever I was reading. I read one word at a time from left to right, from the top of the page to the bottom of the page, and just went from there. So I essentially slogged through my reading, and it took me forever. When you have 100, 150 pages of reading to do when you're doing graduate classes, that's a lot of reading. Undergrads, it's about the same. It took me a long time. And then in 2014 or 15, I actually learned a new process for reading, and it really helped me shift my paradigm about what I thought reading was and what it could potentially be. So the paradigm that I described before was you read front to back, top to bottom, one page at a time, one word at a time until you get to the end of the book. But that's essentially a set of rules that was defined by our traditional education system. And although our education system allows us to move kids through the system and they do well, they achieve, they move on, they do different things, they get jobs, they decide to do what I did and got a PhD. The reading paradigm was given in a set of rules, and that set of rules had boundaries to it, and you can only succeed so much within that current paradigm. So that which you define today is only possible within your current paradigm. So what was the shift? The shift came from having to learn a new way of information processing. And this allows me to take my reading speed and move it to whatever level I want to move it to. So typically, the average reader will read somewhere between 100 and probably 200 or maybe 300 words in a minute. And that essentially means that you are doing analytical reading or you're regular reading. And usually that means you're doing a lot of reading inside your head. You're doing a lot of talking out loud or subvocalization. So it limits you in terms of what you can process. It essentially limits you to the speed that you can talk at. And this new system that I learned allows me to read anywhere from 600 up to 25,000 words a minute, which is essentially a page per second. So I had mentioned when I was reading The Slight Edge that I was reading much faster. I was reading a page per second. So what's the difference? When you are in your head and you're doing a dominant processing information, you're going to analyze, you're going to reason, you're going to interpret, you're going to judge, you're going to keep the rules in mind, and you're going to set goals, but it's going to take you longer to achieve those goals because of the way that you're processing information. But if you use your non-dominant mind, it senses things holistically, it creates, you're allowed to use your intuition. you comprehend much better. You're allowed to play with the rules, so you don't have to be set within those boundaries, and you can explore new options for learning. So if any of you have heard of speed reading essentially will put you anywhere between 1,500 and probably 3,000 words a minute. Super reading gets you to the next level at 5,000, and photo reading gets you at 25,000 words a minute. But as the saying goes, you have to believe that you can achieve something different and shift your paradigm to explore new boundaries. And really, with photo reading, there is no new boundaries. There's just endless possibilities in terms of what you can do with a book. So my learning tip for today is to think about what boundaries do you set for yourself when you're currently reading. Even a simple thing that I shared in another video about taking a look at the front and back cover, taking a look at the table of contents, and setting a purpose for what you want to read can make a huge difference in terms of what you get out of the book. So I just thought I'd share a possibility for you in terms of thinking about what reading is, what it could potentially be. And if you have any questions or want more information, just let me know. Put a comment in the box. I'd be happy to have a chat with you about it. Take care. Have a great day. And if you like what you heard today, subscribe to my channel. I'll be sharing more learning tips with you as we go along. Take care. Bye.